Question 1, the function f is defined by fx is 17x plus 13. What is the value of f8? So f8 would be 17 times 8 plus 13, which is 6 carry 5 plus 13, which is 149. The shaded region shown represents all solutions to an inequality. Which ordered pair is a solution to this inequality? So 5, 0 is here. So this is definitely a solution, right? 0, 5 is here. So this is outside the shaded region. Minus 5, 0 is here, and 0, negative 5. So option A. Leonardo da Vinci's rectangular painting Mona Lisa measures 21 inches wide and 30 inches long. An artist is creating a larger scale replica of Mona Lisa where this equation gives the area of the replica in square inches. Which of the following is the best interpretation of X in this context? So this is the factor by which there is a difference between the original painting and the artistic recreation. So the width of the replica is X inches greater than the width of the original Mona Lisa. It's not X inches greater, it's a product of X, so not A. The length of the replica is X inches greater, not B. The measure of each side of the replica is X times as great as the measure of the corresponding side. So this is what the replica will be. And the area of the replica will be X squared times, not X times. So it's not D either. In triangle ABC, CA is extended to point D. What is the value of Y? So Y is the external angle. So it will be the sum of the interior opposite angles. So 90 plus 40, which is 130. Dakota and Alex work as babysitters. For each babysitting job, Dakota charges $10 per hour plus a flat fee of $5 for travel expenses. Alex charges $8 per hour plus an additional fee of $4 per child. Dakota and Alex have different babysitting jobs where each will be babysitting 4 children for the same amount of time. If they charge the same total amount in dollars for their respective jobs, how many hours will each spend babysitting? Okay, so let's say the number of hours is H for both of them and the same amount of time, right? So what is the total for Dakota? For Dakota, it would be 10H plus 5 because for H hours, she'll charge 10H and then 5 for travel expenses. And for Alex, it would be 8H plus $4 per child, so 16, right? Because there are 4 children. And these are equal. So 10H plus 5 is 8H plus 16. So 2H is 11. So H is 5.5. So total number of hours is 5.5. Which graph shows the relationship between the time that Dakota spends babysitting and the amount that she charges? So there's a flat fee, right? Which means that it cannot start from the origin. There is a y-intercept because effectively her equation is this. So the y-intercept is 5 and the slope is 10. So you can see that the y-intercept is 5 in option B and C. So D is also out. Okay, and for the slope to be 10, we just have to verify. So this is 10 by 1 and this is 15 by 1. So here the slope is 15 while here the slope is 10. So it's B. Line L has a slope of 3 and an x-intercept of 9 by 2. What is the y-intercept of the line? So y is equal to mx plus c, right? And m is 3. So y is 3x plus c. And now we can substitute 9 by 2 comma 0. So 0 is 3 times 9 by 2 plus c. So C is minus 27 by 2, right? So the y-intercept is minus 27 by 2. Yeah, so it should be D, but I don't see the negative. So let me just verify if this question is correct. Okay, a slope of negative 3. So this question is supposed to have a slope of negative 3. Yeah, so that means this is negative, this is negative. So the y-intercept is positive 27 by 2. And the table shows the approximate land areas in thousands of acres of 4 national parks in West Virginia. What is the range of the land areas in thousands of acres for the 4 parks? The range, so that will be the maximum value minus the minimum value. So 72.2 minus 3.7, 68.5 is the range, right? Option C. A new data set with 3 values is formed by removing the data for New River Gorge National River. New River Gorge. Okay, so we are removing this one. How does the mean area for the new data set compare to the mean area of the original data set? So if you put these 4 in order, you have 3.7, 4.3, 11.6, and 72.2. So this is really to the right of the data set, right? And this was pushing the mean to the right. So if this is removed, then the mean will go down, right? So the mean area for the new data set would be smaller. The mass in grams of juvenile cobia fish X days after hatching can be modeled by the equation this. Which graph represents this relationship? Okay, so the slope is 5.6 and the y-intercept is negative 324. So clearly it can't be B because here there's a positive y-intercept. It can't be C because here is a negative slope. It can't be D also because it has a negative slope, right? So it would have to be A. Let's just verify the slope just to be sure. So this would be 70, 70, let's say. And this would be 80, 125. So the slope should be 55 divided by 10, yeah, which is close to 5.6. Question 11. The scatter plot shows the relationship between two variables, x and y. Line of best fit is also shown. For how many of the data points does the line of best fit predict a greater y value than the actual y value? So you can see that the line of best fit, when it is above these points, it is predicting a y value which is greater than the actual value, right? So there will be 1, 2, 3, 4 such points, right? Line k is defined by y is 2x plus 4. Line j is perpendicular to line k. What is the slope of line j? So line k, the slope is 2, right? Slope of k is 2. So slope of j will be the negative reciprocal of this because the lines are perpendicular. So it will be minus 1 by 2. In 2005, a certain country had an adult population of 250 million people, of which 160 were internet users and 90 were not. Of the adult population that used the internet, 52.8 had access to or more social media websites. The adult population of this country in 2015 was 77% of the total population. Which of the following is the total population? So 250 million is 77% of X. So X is 250 times 100 by 77. So let's plug that into the calculator. So that's 324. So approximately 320 million. In 2015, what fraction of the adult internet users in this country had access to or more social media websites? So adult internet users were 160 out of which 52.8 had accessed, right? So 52.8 divided by 160, right? What fraction? Yeah, so 52.8 divided by 160. So if you plug that into the calculator, 52.8 divided by 160. So that's 0.33. So that will be 33%. Option B. If 10x plus 9 is 9x plus 9 plus 25, what is the value of x plus 9? So when you take this to the left-hand side, you get x plus 9 is 25. So C. A biologist selected a sample of adult female Karner blue butterflies at random from a local population. The mean four-wing length of the butterflies was 1.5. The margin of error for this population mean is 1 centimeter. If the biologist wants an estimate that has a smaller margin of error, which of the following changes should be made? So if you want to reduce the margin of error, you should technically increase the sample size. So option A, using a different tool to measure the butterflies. Option B, measuring the butterflies at 2 different times of the day and comparing the results. Option C, selecting and measuring only the butterflies that look the smallest. Option D, selecting and measuring a larger random sample of butterflies, right? So if you increase the sample size, the margin of error would go down. The ratio of the diameter of a circle to its circumference is 1 to pi. If the diameter of the circle is multiplied by 3, how will the circumference of the circle change? So it would also get multiplied by 3 because it's a fixed ratio, right? So if the diameter is multiplied by 3, the circumference will also be multiplied by 3. In the figure shown, all angles formed by adjacent sides are right angles. What is the perimeter of this figure? Okay, so this is 2.5. So this is 2.5. 2.5, right? So this would be 4.5. Okay, so this is also 4.5. And this is 2 and 8, 10. This is 11. So this is 0.5 and this is 0.5. Okay. So yeah, I think we've covered everything. Okay. So 5 plus 9, 14. 14 plus 4.5, 18.5, 20.5, 27.5, and 29.5, and then 30, and then 35, 43, 43, and 3, 46, right? So it's D. The table shows the frequencies of data values for two data sets. Okay. Which statement best compares the mean and the standard deviation of the data set with mean and standard deviation of data set? Okay. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 3, 2. Okay. So the data set Q has higher values, right? So obviously its mean would be greater. So A would be less than C, but the graphs are exactly the same in terms of frequency distribution. So the standard deviations would be the same. So B will be equal to D. So A less than C and B equal to D, option B. The circle shown has center -1, 1. Line T is tangent to this circle at point 4, -3. Which of the following points also lies on line T? Okay. So if you drop a perpendicular like this, then this line will have a slope. The radius basically will have a slope of -3, -1, -4. So it will have a slope of -4 by 5. So line T, which is perpendicular to the radius, will have a slope of 5 by 4, negative reciprocal of that. So that's the slope, right? So the equation of that line will be y plus 3 is 5 by 4 x minus 4, right? Using this point. So y plus 3 is 5 by 4x minus 5. So y is 5 by 4x minus 8. This is the equation. Now we have to find the, so obviously it can't be a because a is the y-intercept and minus 8 is the y-intercept. Okay, let's try 3. Let me actually try C first because I have a feeling this might work, because 5 by 4 into 8 minus 8. So 10 minus 8, which is 2. Yeah, so C is the answer. The solution to the given system of equation is this. What is the value of y? So you can just add the two equations. 2y is 15. So y is 7.5. A researcher estimates that there is a population of 618 gray wolves in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which covers an area of approximately this square miles. Which of the following is closest to the estimated population density in gray wolves per square mile for this area? So that will just be 618 by 16452. So let's plug that in. So that's 0.037, right? Which is very close to 0.04, option A. In the xy plane, how many x-intercepts does the graph of this have? Right. So x equal to 0, x equal to 4, and x equal to 5. So it will be 3 x-intercepts because there is a repeated root here and a repeated root here. So that will just turn from the graph, right? So, and the degree is 6. So it will come like this, I think. We'll turn here and we'll go something like this. So obviously this will stay a little longer at 5. So there'll be 3 x-intercepts. The effectiveness of a mineral supplement in the soil on the growth of a particular species of plant is being studied. A botanist planted 1,000 seeds in a greenhouse so that the growing conditions for all seeds would be identical. The seeds were obtained from two 500 seed packages. The seeds from one package were planted in the soil that had the supplement, and the seeds from the other were planted in a soil that did not have the supplement. How should the experiment be changed to allow the researcher to conclude whether the supplement has an effect on plant growth? Okay. One of them should be planted outdoor rather than in a greenhouse. No, that doesn't matter because we are studying the supplement. Half of the seeds from each package should be randomly assigned to each soil type. Yeah, that thing makes sense. All seeds should receive the supplement. No, then you can't really test whether it's effective. No changes are required. Yeah, I think you should kind of work with half the seeds from each package. Yeah, that would be a better experiment. Researchers estimated that 0.07% by mass of a 12-gram sample of an orchid plant consists of the fatty acid this. What is the mass of this of the orchid sample? Okay, so 0.07% into 12. So 0.07 by 100 into 12. So that's 84, and you need 4 places. So 0.0084. The population of Suzhou can be modeled by this function where t represents the number of years after 1990. Which of the following best models the population where n represents the number of years after 1995? Okay. So in 1995, the population was t was 5. So it was 1.1 into 1.066 to the power 5. And this is the population in 1995. So population after n years from this would be 1.1 into 1.066 to the power 5 into 1.066 to the power n, right? Because the growth factor remains the same, it's increasing. Yeah, so it's 1.1 into 1.066 to the power 5 into 1.066 to the power n, which is option C. In the given equation, C is a constant. The equation has exactly two distinct real solutions. Which statement about the value of C must be true? Two distinct real solution means the discriminant is positive. So b square minus 4ac is positive. So 36 minus 4c is positive. So 36 greater than 4c. So 9 greater than c. So c should be less than 9. Yeah. Which equation represents the linear model for the data? Okay, so you have something like this. Okay, so let's first work with the slope. The slope is, if I use these 2 points, then it comes to 10 by 0.1, which is very close to 100. So the slope 100 is here because these are too small for slope. And if I use 0.2 into 20, then y is 90x plus c. So 20 is 90 into 0.2, which is 18 plus c. So c is 2, which is close to 1.5. So A. A piece of paper is cut 2 times, resulting in 3 smaller pieces of paper in the same shape and size. Then the 3 smaller pieces are stacked and cut 2 times to form 9 even smaller pieces, each with the same shape and size. This process continues until the pieces of paper are too small to cut. Which of the following gives the number of pieces that result after C cuts, where C is an even number? Okay, so it's cut 2 times, which gives you 3 pieces. Then they are stacked and cut 2 times again. Okay, so 2 plus 2, 4. And that gives you 9. Then it's, okay, then it's 6. So that gives you 27. 8. That gives you 81. 10. That gives you 243 and so on. Okay. So every time you're adding 2 cuts. Okay. Right. So let's work with the options. So FC is 3 to the power C by 2. So when C is 2, 2 by 2, 1. When C is 4, 9. Yeah. So A works. Correct. Yeah. There are 640 acres in 1 square mile. The area of a forest is increasing at the rate of 1 acre per decade. Which of the following is closest to the rate at which the area of the forest is increasing in square kilometers per decade? Okay. So it is increasing at the rate of 1 acre per decade. So that is 1 over 640 square miles per decade, right? Because there are 640 acres in 1 square mile. And so 1 kilometer is 0.62. So 1 kilometer square is 0.62 square mile, right? So let's plug that in. 0.62 square. 0.3844. Okay. So this is 0.3844 square miles. So we basically have 1 over 640 square miles and we have to convert it to square kilometers, right? So 1 square mile is 1 over 0.3844. So this would be 1 over 640 into 1 over 0.3844 square kilometer. 640 times 0.3844, 0.3844, and inverse of that, right? So that to the power minus 1, which is 0.004. 0.0041, option D. An observer counted the number of paddle boats on a lake each hour beginning at 8 a.m. The scatter plot shows this. How many paddle boats were counted on the lake at 2 p.m.? 2 p.m. is this, right? So that would be 7. The company spent a total of $9,000 on digital and print ads. The ratio of the money spent on digital ads to the money spent on print ads was 1 to 3. How much money did the company spend on digital ads? Okay. So digital to print was 1 to 3 and the total was 9,000. So digital would be 1 by 4 into 9,000, which would be 4 into 2, 8, 10, 4 into 2, 8. And wait, did I do something wrong? 9 by 4, right? That is 2.25. So 2.22, it should be 2250, I think, right? 4 into 2, 8, 10, 20. Yeah, 2250. A solution to the given equation is root k minus 1. What is the value of k? So x is minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So that will be minus 2 plus minus 4 plus 4 divided by 2. So minus 2 plus minus square root of 8 by 2. So that is minus 2 plus minus 2 root 2 by 2. So that's minus 1 plus minus root 2. So minus 1 plus minus root 2. So the value of k is 2. The function c gives the temperature in Celsius that corresponds to a temperature x in Fahrenheit. If a temperature increased by 19.8 degrees Fahrenheit, how much the temperature increase in degrees Celsius? Okay, so if it increased by 19.8, so if delta x was 19.8, delta c will be 5 by 9 times 19.8, right? Because delta x is 19.8, so delta c would be 5 by 9 times that, right? 2.2. So that would be 11. The figure shows two rectangles. If a point within the figure is selected at random, what is the probability that the point is within the shaded region? Okay. So probability of shaded region would be area of shaded region divided by total area of the big rectangle, right? So area of the shaded region would be 35 minus 15, and the big rectangle is 35. So 20 by 35, which is 4 by 7. In the given equation, q is a constant. The equation has no solution. What is the value of q? Okay. So let me just write it as 24qx is 9x plus 36. So if it doesn't have a solution, then the coefficients of x should be the same. So 24q should be 9. So q is 9 by 24, which is 3 by 8. The value of r is 20 over 21 times the value of t. The value of t is what percentage greater than the value of r? Okay, so r is 20 over 21 times t. So t is 21 by 20 r. Okay, right? So the value of t is what percentage greater than the value of r? So that will be t minus r by r into 100. So that would be 21 by 20 minus 1 into 100, right? So that will be 1 by 20 into 100. So 5%. Two numbers a and b are each greater than 0, and 4 times the square root of a, 4 times the square root of a is 9 times the cube root of b. If a is 2 by 3, for what value of x is a to the power x equal to b? Okay. Let me just solve this first. So 4 times root 2 by 3 is 9 times cube root of b. So cube root of b is 4 by 9 square root of 2 by 3. Right? So can I say third root of b is 2 square into 2 to the power 0.5 by 3 square into 3 to the power 0.5. So third root of b is 2 to the power 2.5 by 3 to the power 2.5. Okay, let me write here. So b is 2 by 3 to the power 2.5 into 3. So 2 by 3 to the power 7.5. So if a is 2 by 3, what value of x is? Okay, so yeah, x would be 7.5. Yeah. Okay, let's grade this. Question 1. Okay, DACCC, DACCC, number 6, BDCBA, BDCBA 11, CACBC, CACBC 16, DCDBC, DCDBC 21, BABBA, BABBA, okay, 26, CDAAD, CDAAD, 31, 722502, 722502, 34, 11, 4 by 7, 3 by 8, 11, 4 by 7, 3 by 8, and 37, 6 and 7.5. Oh, I rubbed the answer for this. I think this was 5%, right? Should be 5%. Yeah, so it should not be 6. For some reason, it says 6 in the answer key that I have, but it should be 5.